And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Nerdsters of the Universe live stream. I'm Kerwin,
I'm Pizza.
and we're here to just talk nerd talk. I mean, I got my birthday present in today because my birthday is next Tuesday, a week from today. I got it in yesterday.
Yeah.
And if you've watched the last episodes, you know what my grail has been. And my wife actually listens to me, and this was my birthday present.
Oh my God. You should have heard for the last week or so. As soon as she started asking me about comic books and to help her find one and where to look and all that stuff, I have had to bite my lip every time you're talking about it. I'm like, oh, well, hope you get it. Have fun, Because I knew when she bought it and everything, and I'm like, yeah. I hope you get that. Hope that goes well for you.
You did good, Robert. You did good. You didn't give it away.
No, and usually I suck with secrets.
Yes, you do.
I'm usually like, oh, come on, why would she get you your Grail comic book? I'd be like, whoopsie.
Or your thing is you'll bring something home and be like, open it now, open it now. I know Christmas is month,
Yeah.
open it now.
I got you a Christmas present. What is it? I don't know. Oh, open it now. Christmas is next month anyway. We'll get other stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I get you. I used to make Crashly wait for her gifts, but anymore, you just get to a point where it's like, why wait?
Yeah.
Get more enjoyment out of it now.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch this Bad Batch. That you kind of got, you got me on the Bad Batch. I'm liking it to an extent, but I'm reading like other people's articles too about it, like other reviews and things about it. And I would not call Crosshairs like a breakout villain. Someone compared him onto the level with Darth Maul, and I'm like, no.
Crosshairs isn't a villain. I mean, come on, the dude's being manipulated mentally.
Yeah. Well, they all kind of were. Anakin was when he turned into Darth Vader.
Anakin didn't have a chip in his head that was being programmed to tell him what to do.
Yeah, that's why
Crosshairs is basically a droid right now. I mean, seriously. Yeah, he's evil, but if anything, it shows more of how evil Tarkin is versus Crosshairs. And we all knew that Tarkin was pretty evil because he would stand up to Vader. Like, you watch the original Star Wars and it's like, oh, Vader's the baddest of the best, but Tarkin didn't have any problem stepping up to him. Like, what you gonna do, Vader? Like,
yeah, right. And I'm sitting there reading these reviews, and it's like the only place I sit and read stuff like that, I'm sitting on the can, and I'm reading this in the bathroom, and that's all you hear coming out of the bathroom. No way. Everybody's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Has anybody, out of all the stuff you've read about it, has anybody come up with the same thought that I have as far as the girl?
Not yet. They're not really commenting too much on her. I think I think everybody's trying to. I would even say it was probably Disney or whatever themselves trying to make Crosshairs the big next villain, because this is what they have, and I'm like, because every article says the same thing. Okay, like, Crosshairs is the big villain. Crosshairs is the new villain. I'm like,
yeah, I'm telling you, man. I've got a feeling, because their whole goal with all this is to still tie it all together, tie up loose ends, weave the fabric tighter.
yeah.
They brought in Kanan Jarrus at the beginning. We got to actually see, not a flashback or a memory. We actually got to see him deal with Order 66. And then find out that the Bad Batch were the clones that were involved, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like how they worked that around, But I'm telling you, and this is one thing that I had thought about prior as well. The Kaminoans were the cloners.
Yeah.
They were the cloners.
Yeah.
And all you heard about was them cloning the clone troopers.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we've got an entire background storyline from, Empire Strikes Back on up to Rise of Skywalker of Palpatine trying to make a Force-sensitive clone.
Yeah.
Well, where did all this come from? Where's the beginning of it? I'm telling you, she's Force-sensitive. She may not be Jedi. She may not be 100. Donnie Yun's character from what's the movie you don't like? Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking more Force-sensitive like that. Not a full Jedi-style Force-sensitive. Like, I don't think she'll be able to do everything like a Jedi can. But I'm telling you that they were working on making a Force-sensitive character. And that is also why the Kaminoans are very hesitant to tell Tarkin and the Empire about her.
I can see that. Because then you have, like after Return of the Jedi, that's when the Mandalorian's supposed to be set up, and they're trying to clone Grogu. So
they're trying to utilize Grogu to clone.
Yeah.
So it's like all this, it's all somewhat coming together, and I've got an idea that's where they're going with it. Because why else? I don't see the Kaminoans aren't 100. Like, they have never been portrayed in any of the movies or any of the shows as being extremely sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
They are business people.
Yeah.
They're another business clan. It's what's best for them and their business. They had no problem putting in a chip to do Order 66. They've got no problem growing armies of clones that they know are going to die. Yet this one clone, one, they decided to make her female, and two, they're holding her awfully close to the chest.
Yeah.
If she
They're
was
not letting her wander around by herself.
Yeah, if she was just genetically enhanced to be more intuitive, then she would just be genetically enhanced to be more intuitive. There is something more there. And I'm telling you, they are playing with midichlorians, and they're working to make Jedi-sensitive or Force-sensitive, if not Force-capable, clones. And it is a precursor to what we got in, to what the development of Mandalorian went and the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. Because I know Snoke is a clone.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Force abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it could be.
Well, apparently Palpatine made Force ability clones aside from Snoke, and you got to look at a time frame. Look at how old Rey was. We'll say Rey's 20.
Yeah.
For sake of a better argument, I'm sure the information's out there if I dig and read books or comics or all this other extra little world stuff, or somebody's probably done the math, or Disney made a website, whatever. But I'm just going to say, for the sake of not going out there and researching exactly what Rey's age is.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to say she's 20.
20, round off.
So rounding off that she's 20, assuming that Ben Solo's closer to 30, and it does take place 30 years after Empire, doesn't it? Or Return of Jedi, doesn't it? Takes place 30 years?
Yeah, I have no idea I can't remember how they did the timeline.
Star Wars timeline. Go. Google every major event in chronological order. 32 BBY, 21 BBY. Yeah, we all know before Battle of Yavin, which... Who came up with that term? Oh, come on. Come on. 35 ABY. So 35 after the Battle of Yavin. And Jedi happened... Return of the Jedi happened 4 years ABY. So 34 ABY. So it's 30 years.
Okay.
Force Awakens takes place 30 years after Jedi. So we can assume that Ben Solo is close to,
20s,
late 20s.
mid to mid 20s.
I'd say late 20s. I'd say he was probably born within a few years. This may even have it in there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's look and see. Victory. And Sloan, First Order, Ben. All right. Ben Solo was born 5 ABY. So Ben Solo was born a year after Jedi.
Okay,
so
wow.
29 years old. In 29 years old and I figured that's what it was because J.J. Abrams liked to mirror with that film. He mirrored the episode 4. In episode 4, Han Solo was 10 years older than Princess Leia.
And Luke, yeah.
And Luke, so it was just one of those situations where, he liked to mirror it, get those different characters in it. So, at that point, so you're looking 10 years after Jedi is when Rey was born. Well, Rey's father was a clone that was not that failed the Force experiments. He was one of Palpatine's clones that did not have Force abilities.
They just said he was the Emperor's son's daughter. He was the Emperor's granddaughter.
Yeah, she's the Emperor's granddaughter. And in the books and comic books that Disney released, her dad is a clone of Palpatine that did not have the Force abilities and was discarded.
Gotcha. Okay.
So depending on how old he is, whether he was accelerated growth like the clone troopers were, or if he grew naturally, he could have been, cloned at any point in time.
Yeah.
Between now and then. So I'm telling you, mark my words. I'm saying this new kid they introduced is Force sensitive.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with that because I think it was I think we haven't seen the last of Kanan Jarrus either.
No, I don't think we've seen the last of him either.
That was a little too easy, and with the way they're going, I don't know. I think Disney's putting out a little. I almost want to say too much Star Wars. Like even with Star Trek, I think they're putting out too much. They're doing Picard, they're doing Discovery, they're doing Lower Decks, they're doing another cartoon. Then they're trying to do that. They're still trying to do Strange New Worlds and Section 31 with Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
With Emperor Georgiou.
Yeah. They're not. I don't think they're doing too much. The problem is they're not doing enough of the right content. Like Star Trek, for example. Ever since we got Abrams Star Trek, we haven't gotten old Trek. All the Trek has been this new flashy, crazy Trek.
Yeah.
We need some old Trek. I mean, it's going to feel like too much because we're not getting the Trek we want. I mean, granted, they're working on Strange New Worlds. They're working on hey, Val. Oh, yeah, you're here. They're working on Strange New Worlds. They're working on the Georgiou series. They've got the animated series. I don't consider animated series along with live action series. They're too different to me. The one is like directed directly to kids, and the other one's more of a Family Guy style.
Well, I know the one Lower Decks has a lot of, adult tones in there. Yeah, it's almost like Family Guy.
It's more of a Family Guy style, and the other one. The one that's going to have Janeway in it and everything, from what I read about it's going on Nickelodeon or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
I like Lower Decks, and I find it entertaining. But granted, they're trying to talk about how to get everything. Why is this not playing? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Now I completely lost my train of thought. They're trying. I wish they would just connect it. They're trying to bring it all together, but they're not. I don't think they're doing it the way they're supposed to.
There's no way to bring it together where they're at right now. They're centuries apart. You can't bring the cartoon in with the live action. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because you got people like me that Lower Decks is a fun show to watch when I'm in the mood to watch a comedy cartoon like Family Guy. It's not, ooh, I want to sit down and watch some Star Trek, some mind, what's the term I'm looking for? Mind-feeding, brain-thoughtful Star Trek. Like, the original series touched base on so many issues, and it made you think. Next Generation just took it to the next level and added in a large amount of logical thinking to it, which is funny because, the original series, you had Spock constantly talking about logic, but the Next Gen just took the logical thinking to the next level. And then DS9 with its social aspects that it took to the next point.
And it was a little darker, too. They got a little darker with Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. But, it was a lot more philosophical.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine was a lot more philosophical. And then Voyager was a lot more technical.
Technical, and I would say a lot lighter almost.
It was lighter, but it was more technical on a living sense, like how to survive, how to deal with being in certain situations when you're feeling trapped or alone, or it got your mind going. When I watch Lower Decks, I don't get any of that. All I feel are a bunch of one-liner cracking jokes.
It's kind of a nice change.
Which is fine. Like I said, I sit back, watch comedies. That's great. But I want some thought-provoking Star Trek. Discovery isn't thought-provoking. Discovery is, I'd say, my biggest complaint about Discovery, and I love the show. I'm not going to lie. I watch it. I can't wait for the next season. My biggest complaint about Star Trek Discovery is it's not Star Trek Discovery. It's not. It's Star Trek Burnham.
True. Very true. That's practically a drinking game now with Discovery. Let's see how many times, every time Burnham cries, take a drink, man. Yeah. Every episode she cries.
Since day one, it's been, I understand having an episode or two or a story arc or two focusing on a character.
Yeah.
But the whole show's Burnham.
Right. I could not tell you the entire bridge crew's name.
It's not about the ship.
I know Saru, Tilly, Burnham, and Stamets is in engineering, but who's the real? He's not even really the chief engineer of the ship. He's
he's not.
Like, there's no Scotty. Hugh is not even the chief medical officer. There's another chief medical officer. He's just like, that's it.
It's not about Discovery. It's about Burnham.
Burnham, yeah.
And again, like I said, I love the show, but I'm lacking. An example: J.J. Abrams' Star Trek.
Yeah.
Focused on Kirk. It was all about Kirk.
I think it had the first
one was all about Kirk. The third one was all about Kirk. Now, granted, they focus on Kirk, like Wrath of Khan was a lot about Kirk, but it was about Kirk's relationship with Khan that had already been developed from a Star Trek storyline.
Right. Well, the first one, the 2009, it was about Kirk, but it also was Spock, too, because they kept showing Spock as a kid.
Yeah.
His relationship growing up, so it was a little well-rounded.
It was more rounded, I'll give you that.
Yeah, the second one had a little more with Scotty in it. They threw Sulu into it here and there, but it was still, Kirk doing this, Kirk making the big choice. From everything I'm reading right now, Strange New Worlds is supposed to go back to the original series style of Star Trek.
Which would be great. It will be great.
Granted, I'm sick to death of prequels. I really am. That's why I was all excited for last season when they said they're in the 32nd century. I was like, yes, we're going to see some 32nd century Star Trek, and we're going to see what their ships do and what. And then I'm sitting there going, it's still Burnham. There's no, it's still Burnham. Yeah, that's all.
Star Trek Burnham. And you know what else it did, Robert?
What's that?
Now any Trek we get that takes place before where Discovery's at's a prequel.
I know. I was looking at that. I look at that, and I'm like,
so the next season of Picard, prequel.
Technically, yeah.
All your Lower Decks episodes,
prequels.
Yeah, they're all prequels now, except for Discovery. Even when they do that Section 31, guess what?
Prequel. I wanted to see like a continuation on Relativity from Voyager, the 29th century, the time ship Relativity, and they're fixing shit like through time.
Yep.
And they went from those uniforms. Now I was sick. That's the one thing that gets me. The end of Star Trek Discovery. Those gray uniforms. I got the pattern. I still have the patterns, and I can make anything. But I made 3 of them. I made 3. One with the white stripe for medical. I made 2 with the blue stripes, and I was set, ready to go. And wouldn't you know that damn commercial they got for next season? They changed them again. I was like, son of a gun.
You know what that is? You know what that is, don't you? You know why they changed it, right?
Because everybody was already getting the gray ones and complaining about them.
No. Money.
Of course.
You've got person A working on season 2 as a costume designer. Well, if they don't continue on to season 3, you get a new costume designer in season 3. Well, they're not going to use the old costume designer's designs. They got to change it up and come up with their own little designs.
Are you seeing anybody in chat?
I see Val. That's it.
That's what I see. Okay.
I see 3 people watching, but
I did too. Because Val was saying something to me.
It could be me, you, and Val watching.
All right, let's get Crashly in here. Come on. I don't know, but I think a lot of people have been complaining about the gray uniforms as too much like Star Trek Motion Picture. Like from the minute they showed them, that was the
Discovery season 6 for more money.
Yeah,
they can advertise and wear costumes.
But everybody was complaining. Oh no, it looks like Star Trek the Motion Picture. It looks like the Motion Picture. And I guess they said, all right, let's see what can we do. I know they were in their little meeting and said, all right, let's see what we can do to make it not so much like the Motion Picture and piss off Pizza, because I know he's already made a couple of them. So let's change it on him, you know.
Because you know that's what they said in the room. It was there's actually a whiteboard in their conference room.
Yeah.
And written in permanent marker, so it can't be erased when they erase everything off.
Right.
Is
to piss off Pizza. Yes.
Yes. How do we piss off Pizza? That's what it is, you know. And it's a studio. It's across the studio board. They're all doing.
Wow.
It's the same conference room that they use when they're doing remakes and reimaginings.
Yeah. And they let Burton borrow it every now and then when he wants to come up with something too, you know. Dark Shadows.
The only thing Burton has done that's upset you are remakes and reimaginings.
Yeah, I know.
You know. My biggest thing is like, but what I do find funny though at times is casting. People who throw a fit about casting.
Yeah.
That's one of my things. A prime example, I just finished season 2 of Titans. And I remember when they were making that show on how much people threw a fit about Starfire's casting. Like, and it made no sense to me, but everyone threw a fit about Starfire's casting.
Because she wasn't an alien, that she was just we'll say, a woman of color.
But if you watch the show, she is an alien.
She is an alien. Is she an alien? To tell you the truth, I've never watched Titans.
Yeah, she's the exact same character. She's Starfire from another planet.
Okay.
Spoiler alert for anybody who didn't watch it. You find this out through the season. I mean, if you know who Starfire is, she's Starfire.
Yeah.
I want to watch Titans, but there's one thing that gets me. Batman. He just goes off and starts murdering everybody. That's the only reason I won't not watch Titans is because
my son's all been out of shape on Titans because Batman's like this murdering, rampaging. It's got to be a different universe. Different universe.
No, he's not. Batman is not a murdering rampager.
Huh?
See, Batman's not a murdering rampager.
I saw the scene where he broke into Arkham Asylum, murdered the Riddler, Scarface, the ventriloquist.
Just because you saw a scene where Batman breaks into Arkham Asylum and slaughters everyone
If Batman is
Nightmare?
not a killer,
doesn't mean that Batman is a murdering
if
psychopath.
Batman's not a killer,
We are talking about a comic book movie. It is highly possible that it was a dream sequence to manipulate somebody.
Now, see, now they're going to have to put on their board next to him. He had to piss off Pizza and his son.
Batman's a killer.
All right, yeah.
I know Kate Kane is supposed to be coming back next season for Batwoman. Just a different actress, but
Yeah.
see where we go with that. But
I like that one.
I'm going to get a couple different pictures here.
uh-oh.
Oh, no worries. No worries. You don't have to uh-oh it.
Okay.
That's a horrible
So do you-
picture of Starfire.
Now, so does that mean Raven is actually Trigon's daughter?
Do you really want me to tell you?
I'm fine. Spoilers don't bother me.
Okay. Yes, Raven is actually Trigon's daughter, and after
Okay.
they pull Trigon out of the little thing into our world, he has to break her heart. Well, in doing that, is turning all of her friends evil, and he does it by entering their minds. Well, to turn Dick Grayson evil, to make him go to his dark side, is he had to push him to a brink. Well, it throws Grayson into like a life scenario where it's like 5 years in the future, and he's got a kid and he's married and living in LA as a cop and everything's fine. And all of a sudden, Jason Todd shows up in a wheelchair and is like, "Dick, you got to go save Bruce. He's going off the deep end." He's like, "I was going after the Riddler. You know how he doesn't like to use guns? Well, yeah, now he does, and he shot me and I've got a bullet lodged in my spine. I can't walk." And Joker killed Gordon. So Bruce is going to kill Joker because Joker killed Gordon. He goes after Alfred died, me getting paralyzed, now Gordon dead, Batman's going off the deep end. So then in Dick's mind, he goes to Gotham, chases after Batman, doesn't get to Batman in time, and Batman throws Joker off of a building and then goes to Arkham and everything. And at that point, Dick gets with Gotham PD and says, "Okay, I'll work with you. We'll go in and stop Bruce. He's in a Batcave under the manor. His name's Bruce Wayne. That's who Batman is," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Goes in. Bruce slaughters all of Gotham PD that's in there. But a bomb goes off or something, and Bruce ends up trapped under rubble. And Dick walks up to him and is like, "Oh, you told me you wanted me to go bad or whatever? Well, fine. Fuck you," puts his foot on him and kills him. And then that's Dick Grayson going bad.
Yeah,
He went down the wrong path.
right.
But no. You guys watch Game of Thrones?
I've not seen one episode. I couldn't get into it. The first and only episode I've ever watched of Game of Thrones was the Red Wedding. And even that, I just sat there the whole time, just couldn't even, everyone says you should really watch it, just like I've never watched The Walking Dead. I'm not a zombie guy.
No, I really enjoyed Game of Thrones.
Did you? I
But
keep saying it's the one I'm going to try next is Game of Thrones, but Witcher Season 2 is coming out. Lucifer Season, the second part's coming out. Now Bad Batch, I'm like the Grinch. I can't cancel that again.
yeah. All right. Here we go. All right, I'm going to bring up some pictures and I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Okay. This is where the problem is, right? This is Starfire.
Okay.
That's Starfire and Titans.
Alrighty.
Okay. This is why everybody's throwing a fit. That's the Starfire they know.
That is a goofy little cartoon, Starfire.
Exactly. But that's why everybody's throwing a fit, because this does not look like this. This
But you know what?
looks to somebody said way too Shaft, reminded them of Shaft, right? But as you know, and as I know, you'll recognize this character.
That's 70s Starfire.
That's Starfire.
Yeah. Close. Look at that. Look up.
And if you recall, basically the character in that book was ethnically black. Granted, yeah, she was orange and an alien, but so many times she was drawn in the way, her features and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody threw a fit about the casting, but because that's what they wanted. They wanted orange, happy-go-lucky Starfire. They don't understand Starfire.
Right.
They don't know who Starfire is.
Well, look up the picture of the Mortal Kombat Starfire. DC Mortal Kombat Starfire? Or, I'm sorry, Injustice 2 Starfire? They made her a little more close.
Yeah. But people were complaining about that as well because they're basing it off the new content they're doing. But it's not. If you go back and look at the old books, they're right there.
The first appearance of Starfire, that is what she looked like. She was ethnic.
For those who didn't see it, this is the Injustice Starfire.
Yeah.
And the new one in season 2.
Yeah.
The second season. Pull up. Second season Starfire is right here.
That looks like Starfire.
Exactly. Yet everyone wanted to throw a fit about the casting. Oh, the casting this. And that's why
They did the hair different. The only thing they changed is her hair.
Here.
Still.
I'm poking the bear here.
Uh-oh.
The casting with the new Superman movie. I don't care about casting as long as it doesn't affect the overall story's character.
Yeah.
We've had that talk, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't care, if they came out and said Superman was, they came out and said Superman was transsexual. I wouldn't care. As long as it doesn't affect the character story. If he's still Superman, if he's still raised the way he's raised, if he still does what he does, it doesn't, I won't care. I'll still watch it. I'll still enjoy it. Because you know what? I still do not have one Superman movie. I've only got one Superman TV show that I've seen where they don't kill his dad when he's a kid.
Let's see. Yeah, Lois and Clark's the only one they haven't really killed his dad in, other than the comic books.
Yeah.
Let's see.
To me, so if that's a character changing development.
Yeah.
The movies try to make it so much as that defines his character. I'm sorry, no. Superman's, another example. Remember when Smallville came out?
Yeah.
Remember how many people threw a fit about there being a Superman TV show before he's Superman when he's in Smallville and him and Lex Luthor know each other?
Yeah.
Friends? Did they not pick up a Superboy comic? Think about it. So many people complained and threw a fit or was like, this is a new twist. In the old Superboy comics, Lex and Superman knew each other as kids.
That was also the Superboy comic book came out a while after Superman comic books were the way they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just changed
it. It wasn't just that, because if you recall, the in-action comics, Superman in-action comics weren't all one story. They were multiple stories.
Right.
And there were some of them that were Superboy. You had Superboy, you had Supergirl, you had Superman. All throughout, even in the Silver Age, And then that's where a lot of those stories branched off from. Sort of like how Spider-Man came out of Amazing Fantasy.
And it seems like every 10 years or so they change his powers anyway, because the original Superman couldn't fly. That was the whole leap tall building. He could jump real high. He couldn't fly when he first came out. Things like that. And then they came up with kryptonite, and then and it just keeps changing and changing and changing.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with characterization with it evolving. There's nothing wrong with being pushed to finding new abilities.
Right.
But at the same time, it was just it cracks me up when people complain about certain things. And I'm nothing against you and the Superman thing. I'm just saying casting and ideas that have already been touched base on. Like if this new Superman is Kal-El, it's going to be annoying because it takes away from an already established character they should have used.
Right. That's where, let's see, I hear it from two different sides, like with a lot of my friends and things like that, and even some family members and people all over the place when they complained about Starfire. Starfire's not black. Starfire's not black. I'm like, no, she's an orange alien. It's fine, you know. And then they said, some people said, well, it's affirmative action, or they're trying to geneticize everything. They're trying to make everything ethnic. They're trying to, no, they're just, you know, it's not a whole diversity issue. But then there are some people who are, you know, people of color saying that they feel like this stuff's being forced and it's taking away the meaning of it.
Yeah.
So you could say either way on either side of the spectrum. Either, okay, it's being forced, we don't like it. Okay, it's about time we were inclusive and diversified. It just, as long as they don't overdo it.
And I've come to the mentality that virtue signal all you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
I know the difference between right and wrong. I understand what's going on. If I've got friends or family that are doing something stupid or racist or whatever, I speak up. I tell them stop that, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's wrong. I'm done with the point. Like I said, if they do the character a disjustice, they do it just, you know, or if they do it an injustice, they do it an injustice. It is what it is. I mean, come on. We're still alive after watching Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. So we will survive. We all watched Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Yeah.
And we're still alive. You know.
Barely.
We've been there. We've had these stories twisted, and you know, it's frustrating. It's annoying because you know that eventually the populace is going to get annoyed with it, and then it's going to have to be buried for a while, and then we're not getting content that we want because the people that are being hired to make the content aren't connected to the material properly.
I mean, if we can watch Richard Pryor be the villain.
He wasn't the villain. Richard Pryor wasn't a villain.
He made the
I watched those movies. He was not the villain. He was tricked. He was not a villain. He wasn't trying to do something for his own good, for his own thing. No, he was just existing and doing things, and turns out he did something bad. And then he redeems himself by the end of the film. He wasn't a villain. He was more of a henchman that was being...
It's not that he was a villain, but you know what I mean. When they put Richard Pryor in that, you know.
Robbie made a good point about the new casting, though, that, okay, it kind of takes away from the already established Supermen that are black.
We said that. We were talking about that last week.
Oh, I meant
Val Zod, Calvin Ellis, Jeremy Irons, all of them. Steel, you know, all of them.
They do one of those and tell that story. Do that justice.
Because that's not what's popular.
That's not virtue signaling.
Yeah, I missed that. But that's...
They'd rather hear, you know, everything changed. Who knows? We didn't write it, so we don't know.
Again, you know, we survived Shaquille O'Neal's steal.
I kind of thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was an interesting twist back then. But,
you know, it's just one of those things that we'll survive. Whatever they throw out, we'll survive. I'm I'm right there though. I'm at the point where it's like, why do we need a Superman remake right now? I could understand if it was like Spider-Man, where they have to retain the rights by releasing content of it. But Warner Brothers owns DC Comics. They own all the rights to all their characters because they're all under the same roof.
Yep.
Why do we need another Superman movie pushed out? We've got so many other characters they can touch base on. Where's my Lobo movie? I want a Lobo movie. Come on, guys. They're focusing on another Superman, another Batman and Superman.
Oh, my son was talking about the Lobo movie.
No,
there should be a Lobo movie played by Rob Zombie. He thinks Rob Zombie should be Lobo.
I want no names.
Really?
Yeah.
I want
Start
no
from
names.
scratch?
I want pliable talent.
Like Daniel Radcliffe. They wanted a no name for Harry Potter. So he hadn't acted before. They found him. He did a great job.
Yeah. I like the Harry Potter movies. But I mean, that's why they keep spitting out all these movies, but they're like the new Batman movie with Batman. Why? I mean, why?
Because they want to. They don't realize, if you're going to make a new Batman movie, Warner Brothers, if you want to do a new Batman and a new Superman, give us the Trinity. Forget about Batman versus Superman. Give us the Trinity. Give us a full-fledged, beginning to end Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman team-up movie.
Like a real one, not Batman versus Superman. Not
like I just said, yeah.
Yeah, the real one.
A real Trinity. Give us Booster Gold.
Oh, no Booster Gold. Come on.
Give us a Booster Gold, man.
I'm not a Booster. They were talking
Booster
about
Gold
that.
works so well in society today.
They were talking about a Booster Gold character that was supposed to be Nathan Fillion, was supposed to be Booster Gold like 10, 15 years ago or something, about when Castle was real big.
Yeah. Dude, Booster Gold would hit big right now. You know that. In
Know.
society we're in right now, Booster Gold would hit big.
He said no, he'd be too relatable. He'd just be in a guy in a weird costume.
Exactly.
We need a really good Spawn movie. We need a really good Spawn.
I was trying to think DC. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tired of them redoing Batman and Superman. I mean, they're my favorites, and I'm sick of it.
Here's the thing: you guys are still talking about them, though. And
If they want to stick to the
Probably.
if they want to stick to a Gotham style realm, give us a Nightwing movie.
Nightwing would be good.
I mean,
they're doing them. See, these movies they're all doing. They're doing them like the TV shows, though. Like the Titans has Nightwing in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dick Grayson. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got Nightwing. They've got
And he doesn't become Nightwing until like the end of season 2. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
But I mean,
the kids and I can't really watch that because we watch Teen Titans. And I remember that with the kids when they were
little. Titans, there's like language and everything in that one too, isn't there?
Yeah, Titans has some language, has some minor sexual content. I would say it's closer to Discovery.
There you go. No, I was going to bring that up. About if you've seen the new Snake Eyes trailer yet.
No, I have not seen the new Snake Eyes trailer.
Uh-oh. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, it's not Ray Park, but you don't know who's underneath the if they're just using this guy for the Pretty Boy mask off shots, which gets me, Snake Eyes without his mask. But it looks like it's going to be pretty good.
I forgot to check. Is Ray Park playing Snake Eyes in this, or did they? Yeah, I was going to say, they gotta make sure that it's. And I'm okay with that because if they're going to make a Snake Eyes movie, he best not be in the mask the whole time.
Well, no, this guy's not in the mask the whole time. They said it's not don't look for a G.I. Joey type movie. This is a strictly Snake Eyes movie.
Which everyone disliked G.I. Joe. I loved that movie. I liked it more than
I liked them.
Like, I honestly felt, I'll say this. G.I. Joe, as a film, felt like it followed a Star Wars story. A Star Wars template. It felt like it followed a Star Wars template. If you look at how the original film was edited and how it flowed, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra flowed very similarly.
Well, you got Cobra Commander, which was more the Darth Vader. Then you got the guy behind everything. Why can't I think of his name? The one that was her brother, the professor, the scientist.
Well, I'm just talking on a flowing sense. Like, it starts out in the action, and then you've got your main characters just now being introduced to this whole new world of craziness. And he ends up going to this, he's got to travel to the secret base. Well, as they're going, they're running into the Cobra people. They're having issues, and then he eventually gets there. And then they find the weakness, and then it's just one giant build-up, all-out battle in the end, and it's...
Okay. I see what you mean.
And there's history between the main character and the main villain.
Well, they took a franchise like G.I. Joe. I mean, granted, it wasn't the G.I. Joe that I grew up with, because the regular G.I. Joe, the little bitty ones.
Those aren't the originals.
No, mine was the regular G.I. Joe, like the Army guys. The Joe team. Was
basically Army Barbies.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were basically Army Kens.
With the Kung Fu grip. Yep. That's what I like about... Yeah,
and then... And a lot of people don't realize that. Like, if they were... and then once they did the miniature characters, they started, because basically famous Star Wars toys. Once they did those characters, they started giving them little storylines. And a lot of people don't realize, if you're going to make a G.I. Joe... Like, seriously, I was talking to one of my friends or coworkers a while back when the movie came out, and he's like, oh, what G.I. Joe? I was like, yeah, man, I didn't once see a Martian wrestler come down and fight them. And they're like, what? I'm glad you didn't touch the movie. That's nothing like G.I. Joe. I'm like, then you don't know G.I. Joe. Because their first enemies were Martian wrestlers. They were they not?
I don't remember the little G.I. Joes, because that was after me.
That was mine.
That was Val. That was about 10 years after me.
I was always mad because all I ever got was Red Stone.
I saw the big... I had the big G.I. Joes, the 10-inch G.I. Joes, 12-inch G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Kung Fu grip and all that stuff. And then as I was older in high school, then I started seeing these, oh, look at that, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and then the, Duke and everybody else. I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck is this? And
it wasn't until they started doing the comic book and the cartoon that they started filling out the G.I. Joe villain and storyline with Snake, with
Cobra and all that
Cobra and all that.
Yeah,
that's when things change.
Destro and Cobra Commander and all them, yeah.
I mean, if I remember correctly, it was something, they were aliens and they looked like wrestlers. It was the weirdest thing. They didn't make toys of them. I don't think they even made toys of them. It was something that was on the back of the card. You had the card on the blister. It was like, these are the enemies they're fighting or something, just to help spark the imagination of the kids playing.
I remember watching that show on Netflix when they were talking about the toys we grew up with, and G.I. Joe is getting really big. That's why they're like, all right, we got to make toys of these quick, because the comic book and the cartoons were going really well.
No, the toy came first.
No.
Oh, G.I. Joe, the toy came first.
The toys didn't come first.
G.I. Joe, the toy came first, and then the comic books, and then they started having to kick out toys based on the comic books. And then they were kicking out toys that weren't based on the comic books, but then working on figuring those toys into the comic books.
Well, they made the TV show. They made the cartoon.
Yeah, but G.I. Joe had been around, like you said, since they've
Well,
been around.
the 50s. It was the 60s,
decades.
40s, World War II. 40s and 50s.
Yeah, the cartoon didn't come out to the 80s.
Yeah, 80s or 90s, yeah.
It was 80s.
Early,
Okay.
mid-80s.
Yeah, I was already, because 86 is when I graduated and went to the Navy.
I was tiny.
The cartoon and the comic books were made to sell the toys.
That's what I thought, because they were saying these things are going to blow up. We got to get them out quick. We got to make the toys quick.
Yeah, because they created there's the characters in the cartoon in the comics, and then they're like, oh, we got to bump up the toys because people are actually wanting those characters now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was one thing. Like again, I didn't have a problem with the G.I. Joe movie. So many people's problem with it was the story, and I'm like, how can you say a story's wrong in an imaginative play world? Like, no, it's not like the comic books or the movie, like, or the show. Like, it's based on toys, so it can be the imagination of whoever's playing.
Whatever they want. Yeah, it can be whatever they want.
Yeah, it's like, are you going to tell your kids,
I liked
that's
it.
not a can and play, imagine it differently. I mean, we're stifling our children's imagination when we get too into trying to teach them canon. No, it really happened this way. Let the kids play with their toys. Have fun with it.
Yeah, the only thing... Huh?
And that's why, again, that's why I don't mind any film adaptations or whatever. They're all different universes. They're all, if it's a movie based on toys, it's just that person who's making the movie. It's they're playing with the toys.
Yep.
You tell them they're doing it wrong, unless they're bringing He-Man into the present and he's fighting some weird, crazy people in a parking lot and running into a bar dance club to survive, and Orca isn't nowhere to be seen. They're playing wrong.
Okay, you came up with that a little too quick.
No, that was the 80s movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Okay.
Yeah. Dolph Lundgren. It wasn't Orko. They made him some other little Billy Barty dude was the little wizard dude.
Like, they're playing it wrong.
Yeah, they're playing with the wrong toys, man.
I used to get mad because, when I wanted to, my brothers, their G.I. Joes were so much more than my Barbies.
If you could have seen Val's face, though, because she was just like, well, that was like oddly specific there.
All right, I get minus.
I just came up with that on the fly, Val. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right?
I would not be surprised with you, Herman. I would not be surprised.
Now I want to see a Thundercats. I knew they were talking about a Thundercats movie.
No, I want a Thundercats movie so bad, but I don't want a Thundercats movie because the more I think about Thundercats, I think about cats.
Oh God, no! Don't stop.
That's what the Stargirl.
I didn't want that in my head.
Dad, you know what the worst part is?
What?
Thundercats, but it's going to be animated like the new Ninja Turtle movie by Michael Bay. That's how it's going to be.
Oh God, no!
That's exactly how it's going to be.
Thundercats, but animated like the Ninja Turtles and directed by Michael Bay.
Well, not directed by Michael Bay.
What I imagine is Thundercats directed by Michael Bay, but animated like Cats. The musical.
Or maybe like a Netflix show, but I can see that
See
happening.
what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I want a Thundercats movie so bad, but at the same time, it's just too much CGI.
Hey, I was happy with original 80s Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh, yeah.
89. I liked the original one.
That picture you guys were showing of Starfire with their hair all 80s out, that to me reminded me of Thundercats. A little bit, like the big mane of hair, which everything had big 80s hair.
The original 70s Starfire looked like she was ethnic.
Yeah, but I mean, her hair looked like a little bit Farrah Fawcett into 80s puff hair.
Thundercats cannot be a gritty CW reboot.
No. Because of Powerpuff Girls, but here we are.
Oh, yeah, now you got Powerpuff Girls coming like that.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Hate their childhood and hate their father and whatever.
Oh, it's all angsty?
Yeah, it's CW. What else would it be?
Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls it's going to be very teen angsty.
Like, I care. It's Powerpuff Girls. I don't care.
Girls.
They could do a live action Powerpuff Girls where they're all cats doing whatever. I don't care. Cats fighting over a bowl of milk. It doesn't matter to me. It's Powerpuff Girls.
I just want to see a good Thundercats movie with like a good Lion-O. And,
I know.
and as long as they don't screw up Mumra, I'll be fine. You know, but I could see them screwing it up with like what's her name that played Katniss in the Hunger Games. What is her name?
I'm blinking.
She was Katniss in the Hunger Games. She played Mystique in the Young
Oh, yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Part.
They were
Jennifer
all
Lawrence.
partying tonight.
What?
J-Law. J-Law.
What?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah. Now that's where they'll screw it up because they'll make her Chitara. You know. You know. They'll make like let's see. Ewan McGregor would be like the spirit of the dude that gives the lion on the sword and stuff. The old dude. Samuel L. Jackson could be Panthro. Oh, mother.
It is what it is.
I just remember in the 80s riding on my, you know,
Everyone has roles they regret, I'm sure. I mean, sadly, you know, Sir Christopher Lee is no longer with us, but I'm sure he regrets Gremlins too.
Christopher Lee died.
Yeah, years ago.
He was just in. The hell was he just in? I know he was in the Star Wars movies. He was Count Dooku.
He died 6 years ago.
Oh, 6 years ago. Okay, I'm out.
I was gonna say years ago.
around my mom passed away.
He was he was the
2000,
actor.
June 7th, 2015.
Okay. He was the actor, man. When you can make 7 Dracula movies without
He
saying
was
a word,
he was not.
He probably regrets Holly too. Stepsister's a werewolf.
yeah, right.
Yeah, my YouTube's showing. Yeah, my YouTube's showing an error occurred.
Are we not live?
No, we're live.
Oh,
You can't see anything.
because the only one I still see is Val.
Wait, now it's going.
Yeah, it went away on the computer.
No, it's there.
And
Look,
you're Crashly.
Yep, we hear Crashly.
it's just buffering every so often.
Huh.
Oh, can Crashly hear us?
Yeah, she's sitting in the room in here.
So on June 1st, we're going to start scheduling our morning runs.
Yeah.
Can Crashly hear us?
Oh, she's sitting in the room in here.
That's cool. I've already worked on my victory speech anyway, so
She's already working on her victory speech.
Victory speech.
Yeah, let the trash talk begin.
Keep in mind, it's most improved.
before I was
Yeah,
You wanna know
okay.
how you get police?
Crash, I'm great at Crash.
No, don't give your mom any ideas.
But no, like I said, you know, I'm sure that we'll get people who we won't want in the role, but I'm also sure there'll be people who don't want the role. Like I said, I'm sure Christopher Lee regretted Gremlins too.
And the Howling 4.
Huh?
And the Howling Part 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't mind Halloween Part 2 as much as I hated Gremlins 2.
The Howling.
You
Yeah,
bet.
the Howling. Yeah.
What?
I mean, look at
Yeah, it is what it
look
is.
at the end of Deadpool 2, where he went back and killed himself for doing. That's a great script. You're welcome, Canada.
Which that movie gets way too much hate. Way too much
I didn't think
hate.
it was a bad. It wasn't like cinematic gold, but it wasn't bad. I
No.
don't think it was bad.
And it's like, and so many people are like, oh, the CGI suit costume, the CGI suit. It's a suit that's made with his ring. Why wouldn't it look CGI? Everything else his ring makes look CGI. Why wouldn't his suit look CGI?
All right.
I think it's the curse of the sequel.
I don't know. It's
Here's what happened with Green Lantern, right? The script wasn't solid. I'll give it that. The movie was not epic as it should have been.
right.
However, the problem with Green Lantern is Ryan Reynolds wasn't taken seriously yet. He was still known as Van
Two
Wilder.
guys, 2 guys, a girl at a pizza place, and Van Wilder, and yeah.
He wasn't taken serious yet. So no one wanted to get the movie died because he was cast in the role, because people don't know how to open their minds to actors playing a role. They go, oh, they're a comedian. They've been in a comedian role. They must be comedians.
YouTube went down.
It was also really a comic book.
You guys play,
No,
Wow.
you guys are doing nothing.
they did like I think the only actor that I've really seen that is like a crazy comedian is known for comedy,
So you
but did other movies well was Robin Williams. And Jim Carrey, I think, was, even though I'm not crazy about the guy,
Jim
was a little-
Carrey,
was a little
Robin
crazy.
Williams took forever for him to get serious roles.
Yeah, but
He had to
when
become
got
a
him,
juggernaut. He had to become a juggernaut to be able to be taken seriously. Jim Carrey still can't take a serious role without people giving him crap about it.
yeah.
Adam Sandler still can't take a serious role without people giving him crap about it.
Who?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Well,
The Majestic is a beautiful freaking movie. That movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Man in the Moon. When he did Man in the Moon, he should have got the Academy Award for everything in that. They should have
Yeah.
cleaned up with that.
Jim Carrey should have gotten an award for
The Truman Show was still a little.
The Truman Show was just
That
annoying.
one he definitely deserves to win.
The Truman Show was great, but The Majestic he should have got an awards for.
Dark Crime. That was maybe
Robin 23 when he did 23.
I'm still going on my phone.
Oh, at least
So,
you're not
we're still going.
doing it out as like something more traditional.
It's
live
fine.
action, because
When he did 23, that thriller horror type movie,
Mhm.
you know, and everybody just was waiting for him to do the funny faces and overacting and all that stuff. But he's, you know, like
And they
liar, liar, and
because
all
he
that.
didn't. Because
Yeah.
that they get it in their head that that's how this actor's supposed to act in the movie I'm watching with them.
Right.
And it's not. It's not. They're actors. They're doing their thing. They're being directed on a movie on what to do. Could you just imagine for a second? Imagine for a second Tim Burton directing Jim Carrey and Billy D. Williams as a Two-Face Riddler team up for an amazingly better version of Batman Forever.
I could see it. I could see it. I know Robin Williams was supposed to be the original Riddler.
He was, but he wasn't able to, and they got Jim Carrey.
Yeah, they got Jim Carrey.
They did script changes, but could you? But I'm telling you, I could totally see a Jim Carrey, Billy D. Williams. I seriously, I can watch. I can look at Batman Forever, pull out Tommy Lee Jones. What's up, D. Nick? Put in Billy D. Williams. Change the character back to Two-Face and not Joker.
Yeah.
And at that moment, that movie would have soared.
Did you know that Robin Williams wanted to get a Joker, but Jack Nicholson got the role?
Oh
Yes.
wow. I did not know that.
Yes, Robin
Robin
Williams
As the
auditioned for
Joker?
the Joker, and Jack Nicholson got the role, and that's why they were trying to get Robin Williams to play Riddler in the third installment, because
Yeah.
it is what it is. But
I
which is
thought
no
that
wonder
Robin Williams had a problem with Joel Schumacher too.
they all had a problem with Joel Schumacher because the dude don't know how to make a movie except for Phantom of the Opera. That's it. I'll give him that one. I will give credit where credit is due. I love that movie. It's amazing. I can sit down and watch that movie all day long. But I don't know any other Joel Schumacher movie. I don't know why.
Nick said he's going to share it in a few spots.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
You want to share us, Nick? You can share us. There's plenty of us to go around.
He's already the community help, so
Hey, now.
we are.
But yeah, no, man. I see. I just so much potential.
I like
Schumacher
Tommy
came
Lee
in,
Jones, but
It was no longer a
What?
sequel. He did so many changes to it. It was no longer a sequel. It was its own little monster.
yeah. I like Tommy Lee Jones. I like him, but he wasn't Two-Face. He was the Joker in a bad costume.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it wasn't it wasn't Jones, it was Schumacher. It's all about the director with these things.
Yeah.
Like I said, Robert Pattinson is Batman. The only way it'll fail is if the director tanks it.
I can see that.
Pattinson can play. I've seen other things he's been in. He can play the character. He can do what needs to be done. The director is who needs to bring it. The director
That's kind of what I'm scared of, because
Take it
they have him looking like too much of a goth emo Batman or whatever it is, like a Bruce Wayne. Looking a little too emo-y for what it should be.
When we're old, we're going to see someone who's in their 20s in this time frame that's depressed looking like an emo, because that's what society has turned that into.
I think you just called me old.
Called us both old.
Called us both old, but yeah, well, it just looks like they went a little overboard with it in the makeup and costuming. But yeah, I know Pattinson can act. I know he's got his chops down for it, but we'll have to see what they do with it.
I was speaking of Batman and situations and the different Earths. I was working on that nerd auction.
Yeah.
And there are a couple Silver Age comics that don't have the covers to them.
Yeah.
Like early 60s. That don't have the covers to them. So, in action comics and so on. So I was doing everything I could to find out the issue number, because some of them didn't print it on the front page. They printed it on the inside of the cover. So I was thumbing through one to get an idea of, just an idea of the story so I could look it up. And it was very interesting because I don't know what universe this took place in, but it was a Superboy. It was talking about when Clark was Superboy before he became Superman. And he's doing something, and then hears on the radio that Thomas Wayne has been shot and killed.
Oh, wow.
So then he calls up Bruce and starts talking to Bruce about, oh, yeah, after losing your mom years ago and now with your dad dying, I just want to make sure you're okay and stuff like that. I'm like, what? I was...
Yeah, that's what blew my head out.
That's how so twisted DC Comics can be. They get 50 billion. Then that's why they did Crisis, because they had these different storylines that didn't match up. And that's why we get such inconsistent films from them, is because no one knows the actual, we don't have a 100% layout. Everyone's got their own little things that they remember,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ashley is asking about my Harley picture.
Oh, and I haven't lost it yet.
My Harley picture again?
I have that on the computer, but I'm still good on the phone.
I'll show this for Crashly one more time.
Bombshell Harley.
Yeah.
That's my paint. That's my drawing. You drew a drawing of me. Did you show off your present?
Yes, I did. My present.
Birthday present. Yeah, I think I
was lucky it was bagged. If it wasn't bagged, it would have been ruined. I'm not kidding. It was put, those little file folders you put in filing cabinet? Not the ones with the hooks, but the ones you slide into the ones with the hooks?
Yeah.
It was in one of those inside of a cardboard mailer with the words "Do Not Bend" written on it. Well, it's been storming here all week. So, of course, when I show up, I pull the mail out of the mailbox, it's all soaking wet.
Oh, God.
It happens sometimes. And of course, it was all, twisted up to fit in the mailbox.
Oh, my God.
All rolled up. Just because you write "Do Not Bend" doesn't mean they're going to be.
Oh, my God.
So what's your new Hail Mary? What do you call it? The Golden Egg comic, or the Diamond in the Rough Hail Mary? What do you call it?
His Grail.
My new Grail?
Dang, I said everything but that.
My new Grail? I don't know. I really want a Ninja Turtles #1. I do.
That's a big one.
But that's not a Grail I don't think I'll be able to get. Like this Grail, I was, $50 comic. That's an attainable Grail. Let's see. A Ninja Turtles #1. And I'd like to have it 9.0 or above. I don't want junk, right? So, let's see here. Ninja Turtles #1. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You never know. You might find it in the auction house.
Heroes in a Half Shell. Turtle Power. All right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Why is it half shell?
Robert,
They only have a
tell
half shell.
Ashley why it's a half shell.
Because it's a turtle. There's only half a thing.
The shell doesn't go fully around the body.
It doesn't go all the way around.
Turtles only have what's called a half shell.
What's a full shell?
Have you seen a walnut?
Yeah.
It's a shell on both
That's
sides.
all a shell.
Turtles have half shell
Crack that
with the bottom.
But it's still one shell. Like,
Because you think of a walnut where we think of most shells where it's the same on both sides. A clam shell's the same on both sides. A nut shell's the same on both sides. They're all the same on both sides. A turtle shell is not. A turtle shell's half. It's a half shell.
Nick, are you hearing this?
And that's why it went with the song anyway. They're heroes in a half shell.
Yes.
It's not.
Pick that like.
And it blew everyone's mind. Why is it called that? And here you guys are with some freaking answer and shit.
That's why it's a half shell. Turtles have a half shell. All right. So if I want to make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue #1 first printing, my Grail, because first printing is going to be my Grail. That's obvious. If I want to make that my Grail and I want to get it at a 9.0 or above, raw, I better be expected to spend $6,700, not graded.
I mean, what is first edition?
First run, not a reprint.
So when all the comic books sell, they reprint them, and the first print is more valuable.
Usually, yes.
And how do you tell if it's a first?
All right, and D-Nick, you're not helping. It's a full shell to a turtle, yes, but it's only a half big shell.
Exactly. It's a
D-Nick,
full shell to
D-Nick, it's not a full shell to a turtle because, one, I don't think a turtle knows what a shell is. They call it home.
Yeah.
It's a half shell. It's only a full shell when you get two turtles together, and then you can get another half shell after
when
that.
their heads go inside in their shell, there's like a whole living room set in there.
Yeah.
There's like a couch, a bed. To them, that's their full shell.
Yes,
It's their house.
And they watch Bugs Bunny movies. No, it's their house, not a full shell.
We don't watch
Yeah.
those movies.
And that's what I'm saying. We need another movie like our 80s turtle movies. I like those. With the suit and the turtle, I like them.
And it was dark, and they killed Shredder at the end. It was great.
Dude, get a half gainer into a garbage truck. Ah!
All right, now,
Part two,
you guys, all right, $6,700 is what I'm looking at if I want to ever obtain my Ninja Turtle Grail. What?
You got me
Raw.
messed up.
Ungraded. At least $6,700 is what it's going to cost. Okay, that's my Ninja Turtles Grail. If I go with Ninja Turtles, my other Grail would be the Spawn issue #1, black and white. Now, this is one where it's not a first edition. This was a re-release,
Yeah, the black and
a
white.
reprint in '97. The Spawn black and white. This one, if I'm a 9.0 or above, I'm looking at $110 or up. So that one's a lot more attainable. But the reason that one is worth more than the first edition is because it only had a max run of 3,100 comics because it was based on Spawn #65 sales. And it was a retailer incentive. So there's not as many out there. Okay. But I mean, those are my two. What are your thoughts, Robert? What are your thoughts, D-Nick? Val? Come on, Chad. What are your thoughts?
I want the Batman #14.
Huh?
Batman number 14.
Yours is Batman number 14?
Yeah, look up Batman number 14. I think there's only supposed to be 3 or 4 of them left.
This doesn't tell me how many are left, but
Yeah, there's so many that are known to still exist.
Batman number 14, Penguin cover. If you're wanting a 9.0 or above, you're looking at $4,900.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Batman number 14 with the Penguin. Then there's
Why not Batman number 1, huh, Robert? Why not Batman number 1?
I was being sort of realistic.
Because that one's only $280,000.
That all?
That's it.
Oh.
Come on, name another one, Robert. Tell me some of your grails. They're not as good as them.
I'm pretty much like I have most of the ones that I really like.
I bet you do.
With the Batman, Superman, I'm good for now.
I bet you
Let's
are.
see.
So you don't want a Superman number 2?
I would love a Superman number 2. Okay. My daughter drew me Jack Nicholson as the Joker while I'm thinking.
I would like that.
Mhm.
Just check this out.
Episode 1. That's my good.
Nice. That's cool.
What's the one called that I want?
It's really good.
Yeah, she does. I'm telling you, when she gets in the mood,
I don't
she's
know.
like me.
It was Joker.
But
Villains and
yeah, I can't really think of too many other. I mean, a good Spider-Man number 1 would be good.
A good Spider-Man? What?
Spider-Man number 1.
Which Spider-Man? Amazing Spider-Man number 1?
Amazing Spider-Man number 1.
That's a good. That's a grail I might go for too. We might
Or
go for that one together.
I might have it. I'm not sure. The Spider-Man with the first appearance of the black suit, the symbiote suit. I forget what
That's
number that
Amazing
is.
Spider-Man number 100, isn't it?
I think I think I have it. I'm not sure.
I could have swore I had that one, but I don't think I do because I haven't come across it yet, and it's up raw. It's up to like $100-something. All right, Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Oh, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. If you're wanting a 9.0 or above, you're looking at $63,000, buddy.
Eek.
Eek. Now let's look at. I believe it's issue 100 is what you're talking about, and it was nope. It's not issue 100. I gotta hunt for it now. Secret Wars, I believe.
And yes, D-Nick, we started out on Bad Batch when we first started out today.
What are your thoughts on Bad Batch, dude?
Yeah, we were already. I was talking about reading some of the articles that they're talking about with Bad Batch, and they're saying how Crosshairs is the new villain, like the new Darth Maul level villain, and all that. And I'm not feeling that yet.
And then he was saying how crazy I am with my idea that the girl, what's her name?
Omega.
Oh yeah, Omega. That
I don't
she's
think it's crazy. It's a possibility.
she's the Kaminoans have actually made they're toying with midi-chlorians, and she's a force sensitive clone. A precursor to Snoke type scenario. Well, I know what to do. I'll just go here and type in first appearance of symbiote suit. Spider-Man first black suit comic. I knew it was a Secret Wars one. Oh, it's not Spider-Man. It's Marvel Superhero Secret Wars.
Oh, is it?
Number 8.
His first symbiote suit with the black suit? Well, what was the first issue in the official in Spider-Man with symbiote suit.
I'll have to look at that one up too.
Because then you got the first appearance of Venom. So
I think one I would like to have though is the first appearance of Punisher.
that was I forget which one that was.
42 maybe?
Somewhere in there. It wasn't very far in.
Let's see here. Let me find it. Let's see if it was 42. Nope, not 42. I'll find it in here. But yeah, no. Great to get that perspective. The character build up so far. It's been fun to watch with my kids. Yeah, it is a fun show. Like I said, I'm tired of the little kid vibe that Star Wars keeps trying to give me. But at the same time, it is a cartoon, so what can I expect?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's like, Rebels and Clone Wars and all that stuff. So
I think the movie Shrek was the first movie that, well, the first movie, one of the first movies that I remember that handled it well with, double entendres for the parents, but was wholesome enough for the kids to enjoy too.
this is Star Wars, though. You're only going to get a kid vibe out of the cartoons.
No,
129.
Movie-wise.
Amazing Spider-Man number 129, first appearance of the Punisher. And
There
for 9.0 or higher, it's $2,200, buddy.
Not bad.
That's what it's worth. Let's see if there's any for sale on eBay.
But yeah, then we could maybe
Amazing
someone will
Spider-Man number 129.
maybe someone will do a Punisher movie where he, gets revenge and kills John Travolta.
Well, let's see here. I was saying Raw 9.0, $2,200, right?
Yeah.
There's one right here. It's got 15 hours left. It's up to 938.
Not bad.
There's one here that's a high grade. It's got 5 days and 23 hours left. It's up to $2,535.
$2,500 or $25?
$2,500, $2,535.
Yeah.
Now here's a graded one, 7.0. So a 7.0, we're looking value about $1,350. It's up to $1,100 with 10 bids. This person is insane and it's not going to sell. They've got it graded a 5.5, and they're trying to sell it for $2,500.
No.
Here's one that's graded at a 9.6, and they want $8,800. That's
a little out.
Should be closer to $3,400.
Yeah.
Guys, when you go buy your comic books, double check the value before you buy it. Don't let them inflate the price on you. If you're willing for it, if it's an auction type situation, that is completely different. You want to if more than one person's wanting that book and you want it consistently, that's how we raise the prices of our collection. But if you're just buying outright and you're just going to hand that money over, that's not a value. That's inflation. That you're inflating you're falsely inflating the value. Meaning you're the only person at that moment that wants to pay that price. Once you have that book, the value you were going to pay for it vanishes.
Yeah.
It instantly drops down to the next person. When you're doing an auction sense, you just paid a little bit more than that last person was willing to. So that still sets a bar for value up to where you're at. Just remember that, guys.
And actually, collectibles and things like that, technically they're not, the only people they're worth that to is another collector.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I went through my first divorce from my first wife, I had my Star Trek collection, and it's, a lot, but the judge said she couldn't get anything for that, or she couldn't list that as my assets, because the only person that it was worth that amount of money to was another collector. It wasn't able to use it as assets. So I kind of dodged a bullet on that one, but
Yeah, it's all a matter of collectors.
perspective, yeah, it's collective perspective. But
You know, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. But if you're the only one willing to pay that price, that doesn't set the value at that.
yeah,
You have to have more people willing to pay that price. And I mean, these things are in here. Let me see sold. Let's see what they were selling for. Let's see how close my value app is to what they're selling for.
okay,
Here's a 9.0 that sold for $46.50.
really,
Yeah, that's twice what it's. Or wait, it's graded $46.50. That's only $600 more than what it's valued at.
ingraded, yeah.
9.0.
You were going by a raw price.
Yeah, I was going by raw prices. A 3.5 sold for $10.75, which is $100 more, $175 more than its value. And these are bids.
Yeah,
These are bids in here. So this is showing that the value of this comic is worth more than what this app is showing. And this, any app, any price guide you look at, they're not going to be 100% accurate because collectibles are like the stock market. They go up, they go down.
yeah,
You know, and everything is involved in it too. When you start seeing the prices of new stuff go up, you'll see the prices of some collectibles going up, depending on what it is. Because I mean, it stays fairly across the board, you know. And don't judge your value based on what a comic book store is going to give you.
no, because they're gonna if something's worth $1,000 at a comic book store, they're only going to give you say $600 for it because
They
they
may only give you $300 for it.
because they're looking to make money and the most money they can.
Well, yeah,
What it is.
they got to pay for their store, their insurance, all that.
Yeah.
They got an overhead they got to pay for. You know, they're sitting in there all day. They got a wage they have to pay and electricity, and you know, it is what it is. But you know, I know so many people. They'll see a comic book and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a late '80s comic book. It's worth 20 cents." I'm like, "No, it's worth more than that. It's worth probably at least $3."
Yeah,
No, it's only 20 cents or $1. Like, no, it's in amazing condition. If it were in worse condition, yeah, I could see $1. Try to take it to a comic book store and get that. You're not going to get it from a comic book store.
right.
You know, you got to look at what value is. You know, just like you may have a piece of gold that's worth $1,000, you're not going to be able to take that to a pawn shop and sell it for $1,000. Well, gold you might be able to because sometimes they'll buy gold at value, but you know what I'm
Yeah, they
saying.
buy gold for weight. Yeah, but they get you because they'll say, "Oh, we'll buy this ring for gold weight," and not to mention like if you have the stones in it that they're going to take out and resell, and they don't tell you about and they jack you on. But
You know, it's one of those situations is you can sell. No, nobody's wanting to buy it. No one's wanting to buy it. But I can tell you this much: there's always new collectors out there. There's always somebody out there. You want to sell it, put it up for sale. You may settle on it a while, but you'll probably sell it. Just price it fair.
yeah, that's the one thing people think they can inflate the price, and then everybody else sees that, and then they inflate the price. And it's
Well,
just
a
not
lot
gonna
of you,
sell.
and that's the one thing. A lot of your price guides, your older price guides, they were all put together by your big collectors.
Right.
People who had the big collections. So it was all pushing their collections value up. Stuff they didn't really have wasn't priced that high, so they could get it low because people are going to price it based on that. That's why I like some of these apps that I always research, try to find out, because we got the ability to utilize areas now. We can check eBay and Mercari and all these places they're selling to get an idea of what they're selling for.
And Crashly, you do sort of have your own comic book. It's two big boob cockroaches. But it looks like her and Robbie are saving the world right now on Fortnite.
This is definitely darker. They executed dudes.
Did I find Robbie?
Wait, what's DNet talking about there? I'm
He's
behind.
He's still on the Bad Batch, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely darker. Yeah. The whole
It's
right there to the Imperial officer. Just boop, you're not gonna listen. Good soldiers follow orders.
yeah. It's got that little bit of At least they did the one off screen when they killed Kanan Jarrus Jedi, and they killed
Yeah.
her. At least you just heard screaming off screen, but it still sounded pretty rough.
Yeah. Like, run, Caleb, run. But yeah, no, I enjoy all sci-fi comics. So
I haven't seen Doctor Who in a while. Val and Anna and them. I'm kind of a Doctor Who fan, but I'm still on Tom Baker, Matt Smith, Eccleston, Tennant, those guys with Doctor Who.
yeah,
I've tried watching The Woman as Doctor Who. It's not that it's a woman who, I just don't think they got the right person for it. She's okay.
Is it because she's not a man? Is that what it is?
No,
it's not because she's a woman. They just didn't get the right person because it's not a man.
No, I don't think they got the right woman to do it.
I don't know.
It's like she's trying to be like Matt Smith, but like she's not being her own doctor. It doesn't look like to me.
Again, pay attention to the directing and see if it's truly the actor or the director. Sometimes it's the actor. A lot of times it is the actor, but sometimes it's the director, and you can see a shift in the show. We've all had it. We've all had that show. We watched a couple episodes. We're like, but then like 5 episodes in, we're like, oh wow, this is getting really good.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those credits at the beginning. See if it's the same director.
It hasn't been the same since Stephen Moffat and all them left, the writers.
Yeah.
But, it's one of the things I watch. I've been trying to watch as many shows. I'm still on the Nevers, and that's working out okay.
I want to get into that show. I just haven't had the time. I wanted to catch up on Titans, and then Crashly started watching this Dickinson show, which...
What?
Which one?
The one that's based on Emily Dickinson's life. The life of Emily Dickinson.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Poet. You don't know who Emily Dickinson is?
I know who Emily Dickinson is, but I'm not on the show you're talking about.
It's on Apple TV, and it's just... Did you watch... Okay. When you watch a show, what aspects keep you engaged in the show?
Oh, God. Action, a good story, like a good plot line. Just engaging, just, characters that are relatable, things like that. Not just, telling a story, but like when they're able to keep the story interesting and relatable to me,
Okay. If it's a period show, are there certain aspects of that show you're looking for?
Period accuracy, number one. The costuming. Although I notice with a lot of period shows anymore, they've been trying to make them more steampunk than anything else. And that's what's getting me.
Okay, here's where Dickinson gets me, right? The overall look of the show,
Yeah.
fits. Mid-19th century. It's there.
Yeah.
Then they start to talk. They say things like cool. Catch your round. They talk as though it's today.
Oh, boy.
The dialogue is not period. So that throws me off.
Yeah.
And then the soundtrack is not period. Like, they're not turning the radio on listening to rap music, but there's rap music going along with the scene.
I can't see how that would...
The only time I've ever seen the soundtrack not being period work was in A Knight's Tale.
I was just thinking the same one. We Will Rock You in the beginning of that. That worked. But, yeah, I know what you mean. I would be more, especially someone who went to film school. That's got to be driving you insane.
Oh God, I'm watching it and it's interesting. It's interesting because one, it's the life of Emily Dickinson,
Yeah.
and two, the writing is on point. Like it's interesting, it's engaging, but the dialogue doesn't fit. And I don't know. The only thing I could equate it to is say you're in a class and you're learning something that you really enjoy, and the teacher's writing something on the chalkboard, and you're getting it, and you're right there, you're following through, and you're like, man, this is awesome. Yeah, I get that. But like every 10th word she writes, it's just so it's like you can't even enjoy it because it's just like nails on the chalkboard.
Yeah, you see Emily Dickinson do something right, and she's like, "Hey, toast, bro." You know?
I'm waiting for that.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's not that far into it, dialogue wise, but it's got the dialogue that just, you know, and it's not just that one that throws me off. I'll watch other shows, especially ones that are like the new, you know, the risque shows that try to cuss a lot and stuff, and they throw out curse words like curse words that didn't even exist then, like pre-London, like before Rome went to the north of Europe, before England was made and any of that. They'll have a show and they'll use, you know, they'll say shit a lot. Like that word didn't exist, guys.
No.
Like you're saying it like, oh, you're cool to be saying it. It didn't exist.
Even close back then would be like shite would be the closest. You know,
It wasn't even the closest. The reason it was called shit was because it was store high end transit. It was an acronym.
yeah,
It was straight up an acronym. It was so they would store it high in the boats when they went across the channel, so the odor went out and didn't make everyone sick when they were transporting manure. And it became a cuss word because the only people who used it in their lingo were those of lower status that worked the docks and the boats. Your peasants said it. So it became a cuss word because it was a word associated with peasantry. It wasn't the upper class that would use it.
gotcha. Is anybody else's? Is your feed locked up on your? Because I'm watching YouTube on my phone, and I'm just spinning on my phone.
Yeah, it finally locked up, I believe.
I don't know.
We were going strong for a while there, but I think we're locked up.
Yeah.
Crashly was saying YouTube as a whole was going down, was having issues,
Oh, okay.
crashing and stuff. So it is what it is. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to think of my new grail now.
That's one you can't just. I don't think you can come up with that like on a whim. That one's kind of one you got to give some thought to.
Oh, I'm there with I think I'm there with Spawn. Black and white variant Spawn #1.
Okay,
I think that's where I'm at with it.
I can see that.
I mean, that's my attainable one. I'll put that as my attainable. Unattainable, Ninja Turtles #1. Extremely unattainable, like not even in the mindset of being able to ever possibly hold in my hand, would be Action Comics #1, first appearance of Batman, whatever one that Detective Comics 15, 13, 12, I don't remember. What one would that be? First appearance of Batman. Amazing Fantasy #15. That would be a good one to have.
That's the Spider-Man.
Yep, first appearance of Spider-Man.
Anything.
Detective Comics #27.
Yep, first appearance of Batman. I wonder how much that one's going for. Graded, I'm thinking at least $1.5 million.
Well, let's find out what it's worth first. Detective Comics number 27. First edition. That one I would settle for, I would probably settle for a 3. I don't know. That's one of those that I don't think would have to be in pristine condition. I'd love for it to be. But if you're looking at a 9.4 is $1.7 million ungraded. Graded, you're looking at about $4.7 million.
Ouch.
So what issue
That
is
one,
it? Batman number
DC number 27.
Yes, Detective Comics number 27.
That's going more than Action number 1.
It's possible.
Wow. Oh.
Let's see here. Reprint. These are all reprints. There ain't nobody gonna sell a first edition on eBay.
No,
All right, let's bing it.
I don't want to die.
Comics
First of that.
27 value.
Robbie said there was a 9.2 that just went for $3 million. Oh, I know. Action Comics, yeah. Detective Comics. The highest graded one to exist right now, the Detective Comics 27, is a 9.2 right now.
Mm-hmm. Did it show how much it sold for?
$3 million.
$3 million. That's right there on par with Superman.
Yeah.
Action Comics number 1, but it's not looking at full date. It's looking at content. Your first appearance of Batman, your first appearance of Superman, those are going to be your high-end ones.
Yeah.
First appearance of Wonder Woman. Let's figure this one out. Sensation Comics, I believe. No. All-Star Comics number 8.
Oh, wow. And the funny thing about it, there's a documentary on Netflix right now. Wonder Woman, the creator of Wonder Woman, was actually into the bondage, the S&M and all that stuff. And that's where her character came from. He likes being dominated.
Yep.
Hence the golden lasso, tell me the truth, and all that stuff.
I died.
First appearance of Wonder Woman. Whoo, man. Wonder Woman get no love.
None?
Graded. Let's go with a 9. Because the highest Action Comics I've seen sold was an 8.5 we saw?
Something like that.
3.25 million. And
Yeah.
then was it Robbie just said that a 9.2 Batman
Batman, yeah, was $3 million.
was 3 million. So we'll just say a 9.0. Graded. First appearance of Wonder Woman, $267,000 is what the value is, what it's showing value wise. No love.
Oh, that's a little love, but not even close.
Not even close. Not even close.
And then if we go by movies, the new Wonder Woman movie, not 84, not Wonder Woman named 1984. The first Wonder Woman movie I liked better than the Man of Steel with Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah.
I liked it better than Batman versus Superman.
My 2 favorite DCEU movies are Wonder Woman and Shazam.
I kind of like. I like
Good.
Aquaman.
Huh?
I like Shazam. I love Shazam.
Aquaman. I enjoyed Aquaman as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Aquaman as well. I mean, I don't really get that Mediterranean Atlantic Ocean vibe from Jason Momoa, but
Well.
I still like Aquaman.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Shazam. I loved Shazam, especially when he kept appearing in a strip club. The little girl's like, I like glitter. No, just keep going, keep going.
Like I said, it's sad because we got Justice League, Batman vs Superman, and Man of Steel in that setup, and no, they're not the three big top for me.
No.
I think
like
what happened
Woman.
was I was actually able to stay awake through Aquaman, Wonder
He's
Woman,
not.
and Shazam. Batman vs Superman was I had so much trouble staying awake in that one. Man of
Yeah.
Steel, I fell asleep in. It took me three times to watch that movie before I stopped falling asleep.
It's not even a matter of falling asleep. I kept turning it off.
Halfway
Every time something stupid, it was completely non-canon, just turn it off. Turn it off.
I don't care about non-canon or stupid. I mean, the movie can't be a lullaby, and you put that soundtrack to no dialogue and just visuals, and it's just...
Yeah, Shazam. I loved Shazam. The director of Shazam was either he was high as hell and just giggling through the whole thing, because especially when the villain's trying to monologue what he's going to do to Shazam at the end, and he's like, "What? I can't hear you." They're yelling back and forth.
Speaking of villains, right? How awesome is it that Mark Strong got to come back as another DC villain and was actually welcomed this time? The last DC villain Mark Strong played, the movie didn't do so well.
Names, I'm not sure. Like the actors' names, I'm not real good with all the time, unless they're really big. But if you give me the character,
This is impossible.
Oh, here. I'll let's see here. Mark Strong.
Are you still alive?
Yeah. Strong. Shazam.
oh,
In Shazam, he played Dr. Sivana.
okay, yeah. Now, okay, who is he now?
No, that's the movie he was actually made money and everyone loves.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's great. Yay! He was Sinestro.
Oh, I didn't get that.
And that's why I was so upset we didn't get another Green Lantern, because I was like, Mark Strong is perfect as Sinestro.
Yes, he was.
Like, it was like, and we don't get it.
Especially at the end with the putting on the yellow ring. When he put on the fear ring.
Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, oh, he's going to be awesome as Sinestro. And we didn't get it. That was so sad.
Hey, I would like to see something with Batman and the Black Ring, the Death Ring. The zombie Batman.
I was making noise with the chair. What?
I'd like to see something with Batman and the Death Ring. The Black Lantern ring.
Ah.
I had a statue of that, of Batman with the black ring on, in the outfit and everything, all zombified and shit. It looked pretty cool. Or even just a lantern, like all the different colored like rings, the lanterns, the different color lanterns.
Yeah, we need a decent Green Lantern movie.
I thought it started out really well, the movie, especially when he was on Oa.
I enjoyed it.
Training and the CG with it was awesome, and then it started to slowly fade off. But I liked it.
The script could have used some adjusting, but I enjoyed the movie. It's highly underrated in my opinion, and it gets so much hate. And I'm going to tell you, 10 years, people are going to watch it and be like, "What was the hate for?"
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, the only reason I think it gets as much hate as it does is because Ryan Reynolds didn't like it, and he's giving it all the shade.
He's only giving it the shade because he got crap for it.
Well,
if he would have got bomb reviews. If everybody had been like, Ryan Reynolds is genius in this movie, he'd be holding that movie up going, yeah, look what I did, guys.
I think he's just pushing it further than it really should have gone. You know?
Yeah, he knows it was a crap script. He knows that. We all know that. But he's just trying to distance himself away from it as much as possible. And when you're playing Deadpool, you can make as many references to the Ryan Reynolds movies as you can because you're Deadpool.
Yeah, you're Deadpool. It's like you can do things like staple a picture of Hugh Jackman to your face, you know. But
I can't wait till we get the next Deadpool movie.
and it's just like I think it's the same thing with Daredevil. I liked it. A little too much with Elektra, but I liked it.
Take away Elektra, change the choreography. Amazing. Like I said, and it was that Italian comic book. I can't read a word of it, but the panels are beautiful, and it follows the movie. It fits. It works.
I think the only reason Elektra was in there was because they had just started dating at the time.
No, they started dating because of the movie.
Was it? I thought they dated after.
No, they dated because because of the movie. The whole thing was Frank Miller. Frank Miller had, created Elektra, and so after Frank Miller got a hold of Daredevil, Elektra became the big focus.
Yeah.
Because Daredevil was what it was. Frank Miller got it, created Elektra, and it shot Daredevil through the roof. Everybody wanted it. So when they go to make a Daredevil movie, they're like, we got to have Elektra. Well, the problem was it was made in the mid-2000s. So it's going to have that mid-2000s feel to it. And they went with star power.
Yeah.
They went with star power instead of going with casting. They decided, Jennifer Gardner's this new up-and-coming star in TV. All your people who are at home watching TV see her as this badass who kicks ass. We can get her to be Elektra. So they pull her in to be Elektra, and the script, the dialogue needed more work. The choreography was god-awful. It's like they got a dance choreographer instead of a fighting choreographer. And Jennifer Garner just could not pull off the role.
No. I like the movie. It just, and they have Happy as his partner.
And you know what's funny? Affleck got lucky with that. Him and Garner both were contracted to do a second movie. Affleck didn't want. Daredevil got so much bad press and everything. They really didn't want to do another Daredevil. But Jennifer Garner was contractually obligated to portray Elektra again. Yeah. So they made the Elektra movie. Ben Affleck got lucky because he was contractually obligated to appear again. He had a cameo in Elektra. The scene was cut. It didn't make the final cut. He was able to get out of his contract by cameoing in that piece of junk.
That was the worst. That movie just flat out. There's nothing good I can say about that.
Stick.
At all.
Stick was good. I enjoyed Stick. That was it.
There's just too much of it. I mean, you see a lot of the guys like Captain America. He played, the Human Torch ahead of time, and then that I liked those Fantastic Four movies.
Oh yeah,
I liked them. I don't know why they felt they need to reboot it and redo it. And now they're trying to redo it again.
You know why they needed to? You know why they had to reboot Fantastic Four, right?
No.
One, Rise of Silver Surfer didn't get the love that they were hoping it was going to get.
Yeah.
But two, they were still Fox. They had to redo Fantastic Four. They had to do another one.
Yeah.
And how are you going to sell Fantastic Four with Captain America in it?
Gotcha. I can see that.
done. They lost their cast.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Evans wasn't going to be able to come back and be Human Torch.
No, not as Captain America. He's
You know,
doing, you know.
It's just you had that. It just got to that point where it needed to be rebooted. I mean, they needed to keep the rights. They were going to reboot it. Did they need to come up with the dumpster fire they did? No, they didn't come up with that.
No. Yeah, I could see Chris Evans wasn't coming back. He would, you know, he's America's ass now. He's not, you know.
You know what I think they should have done? When Fan4tastic or Fan4astic, because it's got the 4 instead of the T.
Oh, okay.
When Fantastic Four came out, somebody should have, you know, gotten to the studio and switched out all the reels from the new movie to the one they did in the 90s and sent that to all the theaters. So then when everybody went in and watched it, they were like, what the heck is this? And then they get the actual craptastic movie. And then the 90s movie starts getting more love. Oh, God. I thought I saw it on YouTube at one point, but I haven't been able to find it since.
Didn't they do a Fantastic Four movie in the late 70s, 80s, too? I remember seeing something about that before. I don't know if it was a show or a...
That's IMDb. Yeah.
Because I could have sworn, like, you know, all the other ones. The Iron Man show they did with, you know, the Tony Stark bucket on his head.
Mm-hmm. 94.
Was the one with Chris Evans and all that.
No, 94 was not the one with Chris Evans. 94 was the one with Alex Hyde White. 94 is the one I was talking about that never really made it theaters.
I don't remember that one.
It did. They just made it so they could keep the rights.
Oh.
That may be the one you're thinking of, because that's the earliest one they did. There's an actual trailer out there.
Oh, God. You know what movie I wish would have released that I saw parts of it on YouTube? I have to find it. Somewhere there's a copy of it, and I gotta find it. The one I think we talked about it before.
Oh shit! I jumped. Ah!
Was
There you go, Rob.
Let me see. With his foam thing costume. Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm thinking of right there.
It's clobbering time.
And the Invisible Woman and all them. Dr. Doom.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Dr. Doom looks like a cartoon character.
It looks like somebody.
There's the suits too. Yep, there they are.
It looks like somebody sat down, did a marathon of Power Rangers, and was like, "Let's do a Fantastic Four movie, guys."
Well, the thing looks like a bad Ninja Turtle with acne.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. The movie I want to see, I think we have talked about it before. There's got to be a copy of it somewhere because I've seen parts of it on YouTube. I think it's called Slugworth. It's the horror version of Willy Wonka with Christopher Lloyd as Willy Wonka. And it's like they're in the factory and the kids are just getting murdered instead of just, you know, it's a horror version of it. I gotta see it. It's gotta be somewhere on YouTube somewhere. There has to be a copy of it.
What was that one movie I put you on to that looked trippy as all hell? It's got all the Star Trek actors in it.
Fanboys, I remember. I saw that. That's not it. I don't know.
How are you doing that?
There's a few. Yeah, there's like all these. The movie that they totally screwed me up with was the Banana Splits movie, where the Banana Splits was like the Five Nights at Freddy's, where the banana splits go all crazy, the animatronics go all crazy and start stealing kids and shit.
Good Lord.
I think it went right to DVD, but yeah, that shouldn't even have gone to that. But I'm thinking it was just DVD, and it just completely ruined my childhood. Because that was my Saturdays, was the banana splits.
Do you remember the movie The Stuff?
That was a long time ago.
The man eating yogurt?
That's not what I'm thinking of, then.
Yogurt eating people. Like absorbing it was like they remade the Blob but decided to do yogurt. Oh god, I love
Yogurt
that.
instead of Jello.
Hilarious.
Holy crap.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I love that movie.
Oh,
It's such a cult classic. I love it.
so
The
horrible.
popcorn in the hamper.
That's the only movie to ever give me a nightmare. It
Really?
didn't scare me at all watching it, but I went to bed that night. I was, what, 6 when I watched it? 7? I don't remember. I went to bed that night, and I distinctly remember having a nightmare being eaten by a shadow puppet.
I remember I was in high school when that came out, and I took my girlfriend at the time. Well, the girl I was hanging out with all the time, I took her to it, and she's waiting for jump scares, and we're both like, "What the? Oh my god!" Then she's laughing, and then the popcorn attacked in the shower, and it was hysterical.
It's a comedy. It's
I know.
great. Oh man!
And the two female clowns at the end that they're trying to score with. I think that's still on Netflix or somewhere too.
Oh yeah, it's out there. I think they're talking about doing a remake
Are you serious?
because it's such a cult classic, and they can't just let cult classics be.
Yeah, really. Yeah, of course.
You like werewolf movies, right?
Yeah,
Have you ever seen Dog Soldiers?
I started to see that, but I never finished watching it. I never ended up watching it.
Dude, movie's epic. Why didn't you watch it?
Well, I was with a friend of mine at the time. I was pre-Val, pre my first marriage, I think. So, if it's the one I'm thinking of,
It's not the one I'm thinking of.
it might. If this is the one I'm thinking, was this the one from the early '90s?
No.
Oh, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
No. Dog Soldiers. 2002.
Oh,
No.
2002.
Is it 2002? Yeah, 2002.
Yeah, that's when I was post ex-wife, pre-Val. That was during my divorce, 2002. I just moved back from Vegas.
But yeah, dude, it's
I have to check that
freaking
out.
epic. Oh, I love it. I love
So,
it. Yeah, so many things about werewolf movies. Just it touches the base on all of it. It's great.
I can't hear
I
Robbie's.
still love American Werewolf in London,
What?
and American Werewolf in London I still like.
What, Robbie?
I didn't like when they tried to redo it with American Werewolf in Paris and tried screwing it up.
You get it.
But let's see, the first Howling I liked. After that, they just ruined the hell
If
out of it.
anybody can still see this, I don't know if it's still playing or not. If YouTube's working now,
Yeah,
but
it's
if
just
you
way
hear
behind.
yelling, if you hear yelling in the background, that's my wife yelling at his son playing Fortnite.
We're saving the
What?
world.
I got it going right here. Oh, for some reason, my son said YouTube is down at the moment.
Yeah, it was down. I don't know if it's still up now.
I'm
We'll find
watching my phone and it's playing us, but
Yeah, it popped right up. YouTube's back up.
okay. 'Cause it looks like I'm the only one. You or Crashly or me is the only one signed into our live right now.
It is what it is.
We watch the replay.
YouTube may crash, but we'll still fly.
That's right.
We're the nerdsters of the universe.
This is the way.
Yeah. All right. Well. Oh, I'm getting tired, man.
Yeah, it's almost midnight here.
So, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I think it was another good episode. we're gonna come up with more stuff to talk about, guys, and maybe YouTube won't be crashing down. And it is what it is. We're working on some things.
Yeah, I gotta finish some of these review videos, these unboxing videos I have. I gotta finish some.
Are we gonna go live next week?
Sure.
I don't know. Do I want to go live on my birthday?
Oh, no, you gotta. No, we can maybe do it like a post. Do it Wednesday or something. Do a post Kerwin's birthday show.
Or we could do it on my birthday and have some. Yeah, I think we'll do a birthday party.
There you go.
Do a live
Strippers?
birthday party.
Any strippers?
Next.
Crashly.
I'll show you next.
Oh God.
You think she does half the time during the live? She's just checking to make sure she's not in the picture, and boom.
That's literally what I did earlier.
She looked at me and goes, "Can you see me?" No. Okay.
Yeah, well, we can't super chat. We can't super chat our stuff yet. So
Yeah.
no one.
Yeah.
That'd be a whole lot of $1 super chats.
Hey, dude, I heard about a new app. I couldn't find it on Android. Apparently, it's only on Apple and Windows right now. But it's called Nunu.
New?
Nunu. You put out their polls, and people pay $5 to you to vote at your poll. So, like, you could be like, do I get Chinese or Mexican? I can't decide. I'll put a poll out there, and then people pay you $5 to vote whether you're going to eat Chinese or Mexican.
Are you serious?
What book did I forget to read with all this stuff coming up? Silly me went to college and everything. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, man, I need to go back, smack myself in the face. Like, back when I first heard about YouTube, people talk about the YouTube. Go back, get on that.
Yeah.
Get on that. Start chatting it up, do whatever, get on that. And buy stock in Facebook.
Yeah. Go back a whole lot of years ago, smack myself in the head, give me your phone number. Hey, you don't know me. My name's Pizza. We're going to be rich.
Where did he go?
Yeah. Just go back and go, mention Star Trek. The phone rings. Hello, Star Trek. It's on, buddy. Let's go.
You have my attention.
It's like an activation word type thing.
Yeah.
Like we just know. Bing. Okay.
Yeah. Like a sleeper cell. All of a sudden we start talking Klingon to each other.
And I don't even know Klingon.
Oh, God. I remember being at the Star Trek experience, dressed like a Klingon, and this woman was giving us dirty looks and making comments, wouldn't say anything, mad at us. Because the ride in the experience, the Klingons attacked the Enterprise D. So we're evil. Oh, she was giving us all kinds of shade, man, for attacking the Enterprise.
No, those were rogue Klingons. I'm a good Klingon.
That's what we tried to say. I miss the fact that that's not still around.
Oh yeah, I still wish I could have gone and done the Borg experience.
Yeah.
Was it any good? Did you ever do it?
It was all right. It was fresh, and it was really good and interactive, and I liked it. But I still would wander right through the Klingon thing. Yeah. I'm partial to Klingons.
Partial to Klingons.
That's what we got to get. That's what we got to get the rights to do. Get a license. That dude in New York right now that has the Star Trek set tour.
Yeah.
He's making a fortune up there. All he did was got the original blueprints to the sets. Got himself a big storefront warehouse thing.
Don't let Paramount know. Paramount will turn around.
He knows. They know. He ended up getting. At first, I think they were giving him, problem. But it was licensed and it was their blueprints that he used. So I guess they're getting their cut out of it. But now he's starting to expand into the Enterprise D sets, the next gen sets, up in Ticonderoga, New York. It's about 6 hours from me.
Man,
Go back to the
I told Crashly, we're always talking about business. What could we do? What would we want to do? What could we do? And I was like, you know what I would like to do? I would like to create a nerd oasis. something for everyone. You go there. I want it to be, and this is funny because I said this. I said this before I knew anything about the Star Wars thing. I wanted to have a hotel that when you went to it, it was like you were staying on the Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did with
Like you'd go in the front door.
Yeah.
Like you'd go in the front door, and it would be like you were in a loading dock or on the transporter, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and then I just wanted to have a comic book store, an arcade, museums. And I would like it, just not just that, but then it would be a place where you'd have conventions. Like
that's what I'm saying. Just do have one big place with a whole bunch of a Star Wars cantina in one area. Then go down the road a little bit, Quark's Bar. Go down the another little bit, 10 forward.
Everything,
Yeah.
theater. It's just a nerd away. You could come up. It'd be a hotel. There would be a convention going on. You'd have Quark's Bar. You'd have the cantina. You'd have theater. You'd have museums to be able to go to, get memorabilia, stuff like that. Try to get the old costumes and everything. Just overall, just boom. Just boom. I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sitting on, $1 million to be able to do what I want to do.
Oh, here. Well, hold on, let me check. Hold on. Nope, me either. Me either. All right, well,
such a tease.
Next week we're gonna have to come back for the birthday party.
Yep, that's what we'll do.
Have some cake, sing happy birthday, Crashly stripping off screen, off camera.
I can't get on camera. What?
Show Marilyn Monroe birthday to me.
There you go.
All right, guys, we're gonna go. Thank you for coming. Live long and prosper. This is the way.
This is the way. See you next time.
Out.